Hello, welcome to Local Edition. I'm Leslie Leyton. It now takes legislators just a simple majority vote to pass California's state budget, but our next guest thinks that restoring the 2/3 majority might be a good idea, as well as having a referee of sorts oversee the procedure. With us now, Allan Mansoor, Assemblyman. Thank you very much for being here.
Thank you.
So you're proposing two changes to what was Bill 25, and
Right.
that let us pass the budget with a simple majority. So what are these changes?
Well, what I'm putting forward is ACA, Assembly Constitutional Amendment 25, which coincidentally addresses Prop 25. Prop 25 was passed by the voters, and it said that the legislature should not get paid if we don't pass a balanced budget, and rightfully so. I agree with that. But what happened last year is the legislature passed a bad budget. The governor did not sign it. The controller withheld our pay, and rightfully so. I completely support that. But then a couple weeks later, we passed another, when I say we, the legislature passed another bad budget, and it was signed by the governor. And nobody declared that it was in fact balanced, yet we got paid. And now we're seeing the ramifications of that, where the funding simply isn't there and revenues are falling short. So I'm putting forward a proposal, a constitutional amendment that says the independent legislative analyst's office should develop objective criteria to determine whether the budget is balanced or not, because the Democrats recently sued the state and said, we want our 2 weeks payback. And not only that, we want the legislature to determine whether the budget is balanced or not. And that's like asking the fox to watch the hen house. I think an independent body should determine whether it's balanced or not.
But some people might argue that the Legislative Analyst's Office, they aren't the elected officials that we rely on to make these decisions. In effect, we'd be relying on, just some staffers.
Well, they provide, they're more than just staffers. They provide good, objective criteria and can provide that on whether it's balanced or not. Instead of us determining it's balanced when really is not, just so we can get paid. That is not right. There has to be some type of accountability. Everybody needs someone who they're accountable to. And if the analyst's office can develop good objective criteria, which they can, that would be a good form of oversight.
Okay, so that's one part of it. The other part is you'd like to restore the 2/3 majority vote needed. If the Legislative Analyst's Office came up with something that was good and just, why does it matter if it's a 2/3 or 50% majority?
Right. Well, it would require that there be Republican input again, but also what's happening now is a item came before Budget Committee that had no business in the Budget Committee. It should have gone before a policy committee, and urgency ordinances also require 2/3 vote. So they're taking these items that should go before a policy committee and bring them, attaching a dollar amount to them, bring them to a Budget Committee, and then voting on them there with a simple majority. And again, that is not the will of the voters. That is not what they intended.
What kind of feedback are you getting from these proposals?
Well, some good feedback. We've just submitted it. I think there will be some resistance from some who want to control the current process and business as usual. But again, it's the voters that want accountability. They said we should not get paid if we don't do our job properly, and I agree with them. And this measure is to uphold the will of the voters.
Okay, well, we'll see how this progresses as the session rolls on.
Thank you
Very much, Allan Mansoor, for being here. And thank you for tuning in. More HLN next.